Hi, welcome everyone to Cloud Arc Consultants. In this series of videos, we'll try to make the concepts of Microsoft Purview easier for all of you to understand. We all know that in this connected world where the attack surfaces have increased and we have all the different types of devices connected to the organization's network. Post-COVID, the world has changed. We are now no more connected only to the organization data centers, but we are having our data being accessed from protected and unprotected networks. Sometimes we have to access the data from the networks like a cafe, a shopping mall, or maybe from an airport, where the networks could be non-protected, where the proper organization policies might not be there. So in such cases, enforcement of data protection and data governance to adhere the compliances, to adhere the GRC policies, the governance, risk and compliance features enforced by your organization, or the features enforced by the land of law wherever your data resides. Microsoft Purview, a tool that helps us enforce this data governance, helps us to create the data classification and deployment of policies irrespective of the device from where the data is being accessed. Maybe the data is being accessed from the bring in your own device, or the data is being accessed from the organization provided endpoint. Irrespective of the place where we are having the data access, Purview is a solution that helps us enforce governance, compliances, and data risk across the organization's footprint. We will begin with an introduction to Microsoft Purview, highlighting its significance in the data governance. Then we will proceed with how to classify the data using the sensitivity labels, followed by details upon enforcing the automatic labeling and handling in the unified data governance concepts by the help of Purview across the organization footprint. Microsoft Purview is a robust data governance solution that helps organizations manage data privacy, compliance, efficiently, and it also provides you the tools necessary for understanding and controlling the data access across the various platforms wherever your data lives. Microsoft Purview offers a unified approach to data governance by providing insights into data in lineage, classification, the requirements of the compliance, and empowers organizations to take charge of the data governance policy. Effective data governance is essential for maintaining the data integrity, ensuring compliances with regulations, and protecting the sensitive information. It facilitates organizations to mitigate risk and build trust with the stakeholders. Sensitivity labels are the core feature of Microsoft Purview, which allows the organizations to classify, protect data based upon the sensitivity label. The sensitivity labels helps in enforcing the data handling policies throughout the organization across the organization footprint. Data classification is vital for data governance. Microsoft Purview provides various methods for data classification that ensures the appropriate protections are applied based upon the sensitivity identification. For data classification, Purview offers you three basic methods. One, called up as the trainable classifiers based upon the state-of-art Microsoft machine learning algorithms. You have some 300 plus out-of-box algos available to you. Apart from that, you can create your own trainable classifiers by uploading or providing a reference to a Microsoft SharePoint site having 50 to 500 samples of positive and negative data. You can create your own sensitivity identifiers. You can create exact data match classifications, as well as you can also create in your own fingerprint based identifiers. Purview tool allows for creating sensitivity labels of various data types, such as confidential data, highly confidential data, public access data, finance confidential data, technical confidential data, HR confidential data. These type of confidentialities, they helps us in understanding and determining the right level of governance policies to be applied, like when the data is being shared outside the organization, when the data is being shared with users within the organization, when if the information is holding any kind of financial information, maybe it's having the PII classification data, maybe it's having in the information relevant to the sensitivity for organization policies. So Purview allows you to create labels, and these labels can be further used in for enforcing governance things like the retention policies, what to do when the data retention time has expired, should it be deleted, if someone is trying to access the data or share confidential information outside organization using mail, using SharePoint, or using in your Microsoft Teams, or uploading it onto the private cloud. In all such cases, enforcing encryption, deletion, or blocking access to the data are the kind of tasks that can be achieved by using in the Purview portal. Many a times it happens that the auto labeling policies that we have applied may not identify the data in the right style, or maybe identifying it up as a false positive. So in such cases, we may also require to provide our users the privileges for manually assigning the classification. Many times you all would have seen that in your Microsoft Word, or when you are working upon the Outlook, you get in a sensitivity label notification identifying that this data has been identified, but you also get an option to change the label that is applied on the document, which is nothing else but the manual assignment. It's the human factor that is making in the right type of judgment about the data, looking up at the data properties. Can be restricted that only privileged users, or that the users having in certain type of privileges, administrative capabilities, can only assign the manual classification, and the non-privileged users may be restricted for doing it there. In Purview, automatic classification leverages the machine learning and predefined rules provided out of box, as well as facilitated to us by the help of creating trainable classifiers to classify data without user intervention. This in a way helps scaling the data governance efforts while reducing the manual errors.